good of him to highlight the Tory triple lot, which did take the absolutely woeful state of the pension left by the last Labour government and transform it to a sounder one today. But even in these conditions where, thanks to the Tories, pensioners are much better off than they used to be, even then, there are people, and it came from Labour research a few years ago, who will die, according to that research, if this policy, which he in good conscience thinks he should vote for today, is implemented. That's the truth. And it takes us to one of the key issues we've been discussing today, and that's process. And the honourable gentleman seems like an honourable and decent man. At least he used the word conscience in this debate, rather than purely political theatre. The point is that the process is where something could lead to thousands of people dying, that the government has not done that which it is legally obliged to do. It used some rare exemption requirement to produce the impact assessment. So we don't know. So people who in good conscience, like the honourable gentleman, want to do the right thing, don't know what the impact is. Because if that was in front of us, and if it validated the Labour Party's previous analysis and showed that it could be 4,000 people who are going to die, could he really, in good conscience, do it? For what, the 1.1 billion we'd spend over 1,200 billion? I mean, this 22 billion black hole is a sort of political theatre by a government that said it wasn't going to do politics as theatre, as performance. It was going to do it properly. But in fact, it's a minuscule amount, isn't it? It's significant, but it's minuscule in the overall scheme of things. It's a choice that has been made, which has been rammed through on a timetable which is not in order, doesn't follow the normal and proper way of things, doesn't allow new members of Parliament like the honourable gentleman to look at it and weigh it up and come to the right conclusion. It is truly shameful. And I have Peter, one of my constituents, who's one of 882 who signed the petition in my constituency against this. He and his wife are £12 over the pension credit limit. But they're not the only people who are worried about this policy, because I spent a little bit of time yesterday reading Labour's manifesto, as I hope honourable members opposite may have done. I was touched by the quote from Gary on page 48, and it reads, "I've never struggled this much to keep warm. I can only afford to heat one room with a small portable heater. Sometimes I sleep in my armchair to save money. It's no way to live." And surely members opposite, in good conscience, recognise that he's right. It is no way to live. And when 9.7 million people voted Labour, they voted for them on the promise of change. And I don't think this is the change which Gary and others were led to believe that they would receive. Yeah.